a $31,500 house, a second-hand Mercedes, and $5 McDonald's breakfasts. These are billionaires who live like they're broke. Warren Buffett. Simplicity and memory over luxury. Warren Buffett is often the first name that comes to mind when we talk about billionaires with humble lifestyles. Worth over $120 billion, Buffett is not only one of the richest people in the world, but also one of the modest. While many of his peers own multiple houses, Buffett has lived in the same house for more than 6 decades. Located in Omaha, Nebraska, Buffett's home was purchased in 1958 for $31.5 thousand. While the sum may seem paltry today, the house has become a part of Buffett's identity, a symbol of his frugality and commitment to the things that truly matter. Buffett has also said that material possessions don't bring him happiness. For him, life is about cherished memories and meaningful experiences, not about owning the fanciest new gadgets or living in the biggest mansion. He is a firm believer in investing in relationships and ideas rather than things. Another area where Buffett's modesty shines through is his diet. Despite his billions, Buffett's eating habits are anything but extravagant. He's famous for loving fast food, particularly McDonald's. In fact, every morning, Buffett stops by McDonald's and orders the same inexpensive breakfast. He even bases his order on the stock market's performance. On good days, he'll spend $3.17 for a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, but on bad days, he cuts back to a $2.61 order of sausage patties. It's a quirky tradition that reinforces just how grounded Buffett remains despite his wealth. Buffett's approach to investing mirrors his lifestyle. Known for his long-term investment strategy, he's always emphasized the importance of patience and discipline. While many investors chase after short-term gains and high-risk ventures, Buffett sticks to the basics, often choosing companies with stable long-term growth potential. His investment philosophy has earned him the reputation of being one of the wisest and most successful investors of all time. Even in his philanthropic efforts, Buffett is known for his thoughtful, long-term approach. And the guy has even pledged to give away 99% of his wealth, primarily through the Giving Pledge, a commitment he co-founded with Bill Gates. Rather than making flashy donations, Buffett prefers to quietly support causes that align with his values, particularly those related to education and poverty alleviation. For Buffett, wealth is not about personal indulgence, it's about responsibility. He believes that those who are fortunate enough to have vast resources should use them to benefit society. His frugal lifestyle, combined with his immense generosity, sets Buffett apart as a billionaire who truly lives by his principles. But Warren Buffett isn't the only billionaire who prefers burgers over caviar. Up next is a tech mogul who could easily afford the finest things in life, but instead sticks to the basics. Mark Zuckerberg, the visionary who prefers function over flash. Mark Zuckerberg is another tech titan who has surprised the world with his modest lifestyle. As the founder of Facebook, Zuckerberg's net worth is estimated to be over $70 billion. Yet he lives his life as though he just started out his career. Zuckerberg is known for his uniform-like approach to dressing. He's often seen in his signature gray t-shirt and jeans, a deliberate choice to simplify his life and reduce decision fatigue. In Zuckerberg's mind, by removing the need to think about what to wear each day, he frees up mental energy to focus on more important tasks, like running one of the most powerful companies in the world. Beyond his wardrobe, Zuckerberg's choice of vehicles also reflects his down-to-earth mindset. While many billionaires drive custom-made supercars, Zuckerberg sticks to practical, mid-range models. His Acura TSX and Volkswagen Golf GTI are both valued at under $30,000, an amount that's hardly a drop in the bucket for someone with his net worth. However, where Zuckerberg's spending habits deviate slightly from his otherwise modest lifestyle is something he keeps very private. Concerned about the constant media attention surrounding him and his family, Zuckerberg has spent millions buying up properties surrounding his home in Palo Alto. His goal is to ensure his family can live without the intrusions of paparazzi or overly curious neighbors. Zuckerberg's modesty extends to his dining habits as well. Just like Warren Buffett, he's been spotted grabbing a bite to eat at McDonald's. But it's not just fast food that defines his lifestyle. Zuckerberg is also known for his love of simple, home-cooked meals. He's even shared stories about hunting and preparing his own food, as part of a personal challenge to be more connected to the food he consumes. In terms of philanthropy, Zuckerberg and his wife Priscilla Chan have made waves with their ambitious giving plans. Through the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative, the couple has pledged to donate 99% of their Facebook shares over their lifetimes, with a focus on issues like education, healthcare, and criminal justice reform. This massive commitment to philanthropy is part of Zuckerberg's broader vision of using his wealth to make a lasting impact on society. One might expect someone with Zuckerberg's level of influence and wealth to indulge in the latest luxuries, but instead he chooses to focus on functionality and simplicity. His life is a testament to the idea that even with billions at your disposal, you don't have to live extravagantly. But if you think Zuckerberg's lifestyle is modest, wait until you hear about a billionaire who intentionally gave away almost all his wealth, leaving himself with barely enough to retire on. Chuck Feeney. Perhaps the most extreme example of a billionaire who has chosen to live like he's poor, because he actually is poor by billionaire standards. Once worth over $8 billion, Feeney gave away almost all of his fortune to charity, leaving him with just $1.5 million today. Feeney co-founded Duty Free Shoppers Group, a business that made him a billionaire in the 90s. However, rather than spending his wealth on luxury cars or mansions, Feeney quietly donated billions to charitable causes. He kept his giving a secret for many years, operating under the radar and refusing to take credit for his donations. His philosophy was simple. He wanted to die broke. Feeney's frugality is legendary. He doesn't own a house or a car, and he lives in a small rented apartment in San Francisco. His wardrobe consists of modest off-the-rack clothes, and he's known for wearing a $15 Casio watch. While other billionaires might splurge on lavish vacations, Feeney flies coach, often booking the cheapest ticket he can find. But Feeney's life isn't just about extreme thriftiness, it's about making a difference. He's donated over $8 billion to causes like education, healthcare, and human rights, transforming countless lives in the process. Feeney's largest donations have gone toward improving education, including a $1 billion gift to his alma mater, Cornell University. Feeney's philosophy of giving while living has inspired a new generation of philanthropists. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and other wealthy individuals have credited Feeney with motivating them to give away large portions of their fortunes. In a world where many billionaires are focused on building wealth, Feeney's mission to give it all away before he dies stands as a remarkable example of selflessness and humility. If you think that's extreme, the next billionaire on our list insists on monitoring toilet paper usage in his company. Azim Premji, the boss who counts the toilet paper. Azim Premji, often referred to as the Indian Bill Gates, is one of India's wealthiest men, with a net worth of over $11 billion. But despite his immense wealth, Premji is known for his extreme frugality. In fact, his reputation for thriftiness extends to the point where he's said to monitor the use of toilet paper in his company's offices. Premji's story is one of humble beginnings. He inherited a small family business that produced vegetable oil, but under his leadership, it grew into Wipro, one of India's largest tech companies. But even as Wipro grew into a global powerhouse, Premji's personal habits remained remarkably simple. While many billionaires would upgrade to luxury cars and private jets, Premji drove an old Toyota Corolla for years. And when it finally gave out, he bought a second-hand Mercedes from one of his employees. His colleagues and employees have long admired his frugality, seeing it as a reflection of his commitment to efficiency and cost saving. Premji is also a major philanthropist. He's donated billions to causes related to education and healthcare, and his foundation is one of the largest charitable organizations in India. But while Premji has helped improve the lives of millions of people, particularly in rural and underprivileged areas, he isn't the only billionaire living simply. There's another mogul who runs one of the largest fashion empires in the world, yet keeps a low profile and lives far from the limelight. Amancio Ortega, the man behind Zara who stays out of the spotlight. The one and only. While this guy may not be a household name, his fashion brand Zara certainly is. And as the founder of Intidex, the parent company of Zara, Ortega is worth over $80 billion, making him one of the wealthiest people in Europe. But despite his enormous fortune, Ortega leads a remarkably quiet and private life. Unlike many other billionaires, Ortega is rarely seen in public, and he avoids media attention as much as possible. In fact, until 1999, no public photographs of him existed. He's known for his reclusive nature, preferring to stay in the background while his business empire thrives. Ortega lives in a relatively modest apartment in La Corona, Spain, the same small town where he began his career. Even though he could afford to live in any luxury destination in the world, Ortega prefers the comfort and familiarity of his hometown. In fact, he's often spotted around town, enjoying a cup of coffee at the same cafe he's frequented for years. Ortega's wardrobe is as unassuming as his lifestyle. Despite owning one of the largest fashion empires in the world, Ortega dresses simply, often in a plain shirt and pants. He shuns designer labels and doesn't care for the lavish lifestyle that many in his position would embrace. While Ortega keeps his personal life out of the spotlight, he is a significant philanthropist. He's donated millions of dollars to healthcare and education, with much of his giving focus on improving the lives of people in Spain. Through his charitable foundation, Ortega has provided funding for hospitals, schools, and research institutions, helping to make a positive impact on his community. Ortega's story is a reminder that wealth doesn't have to change who you are. Despite his billions, he stayed true to his roots, living a life that's grounded in simplicity and generosity. Next up, we'll meet a billionaire who built an empire out of furniture, but preferred flea markets over fancy boutiques, and who never upgraded his decades-old car. Ingvar Kamprad, IKEA's frugal founder. When you think of IKEA, the world's largest furniture retailer, you might imagine sleek Scandinavian design and modern minimalism. But the man behind the brand, Ingvar Kamprad, was known for something else: his extreme frugality. Despite being worth over $50 billion at the time of his death, Kamprad lived as though he was just getting by. Kamprad's modest lifestyle was well documented. He drove a 20-year-old Volvo, flew economy class, and bought his clothes from the flea markets. Even after building a global empire, Kamprad never lost his connection to his humble beginnings. He was born on a small farm in Sweden, and those early lessons in saving money stayed with him throughout his life. Kamprad's approach to life extended to his business. IKEA's mission has always been to provide affordable, functional furniture for the masses, and Kamprad believed that the company's leadership should set an example by living modestly. He was often seen using IKEA furniture in his own home, demonstrating his commitment to the company's values of affordability and practicality. One of the more unusual stories about Kamprad involves his haircuts. While most billionaires might go to a high-end stylist, Kamprad preferred to get his hair cut in developing countries where it was cheaper. This level of thriftiness might seem extreme, but for Kamprad, it was just another way to save money. Kamprad's philanthropy was less publicized than some of the other billionaires on this list, but he did quietly donate to charitable causes throughout his life. Much of his giving was focused on education and social programs in Sweden, helping to improve the lives of people in his home country. Kamprad's life is a testament to the idea that you don't need to be flashy to be successful. He built one of the world's most recognizable brands while staying true to his belief in simplicity and frugality. In fact, there's another billionaire who started with a $600 loan and built a multi-billion-dollar business, all while living simply and giving generously. David Green, Hobby Lobby's faithful billionaire. Worth over $14 billion, Green built his arts and crafts empire from a small startup to a billion-dollar business. But throughout it all, he's remained deeply committed to his faith and his values, which guide his approach to wealth. Green's lifestyle is anything but lavish. He drives an old car, flies coach, and lives in an average home. His faith plays a significant role in how he views his wealth. He believes that everything he has belongs to God, and that he is merely a steward of the money. This belief shapes his frugality and his commitment to giving. Hobby Lobby, the company Green founded, is known not only for its success, but also for its commitment to Christian values. The company closes on Sundays, one of the few large retailers to do so, in order to give employees time to rest and worship. Green's values also extend to his personal life, where he practices humility and simplicity. Green has donated more than $500 million to religious ministries, charities, and causes related to education. One of his most notable contributions is to the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C., which he helped fund with a $500 million donation. The museum houses one of the largest collections of biblical artifacts in the world and aims to educate visitors about the history and impact of the Bible. For Green, wealth is a tool for doing good in the world. His generosity, combined with his modest lifestyle, makes for a unique figure in the world of billionaires. Exactly like the guy who drives himself to work, keeps his wealth in handwritten notebooks, and doesn't see the point in luxury. Carlos Slim, the billionaire who stays under the radar. Once the richest man in the world, is worth an estimated $88 billion today. But something you should know about him is that he still resides in the same 6-bedroom house he's owned for over 40 years. And he's known for driving himself around Mexico City in his own car. No chauffeur, no bodyguards. Slim's approach to life is simple. He doesn't believe in wasting money on things he doesn't need. While other billionaires may invest in yachts, private jets, and sprawling mansions, Slim focuses on his business interests and family. He's famously said that he doesn't need a fancy office or an elaborate lifestyle to feel successful. Plus, if you want to know one of the most interesting aspects of Slim's life, it's his relationship with technology. Despite running some of the largest telecommunications companies in the world, Slim doesn't use a computer. Instead, he keeps track of his finances in handwritten notebooks, a method that's both old-fashioned and a testament to his frugality. Slim is also deeply committed to philanthropy. While he doesn't agree with the giving pledge, he's still donated billions to charitable causes. His Carlos Slim Foundation focuses on healthcare, education, and poverty alleviation in Mexico, helping to improve the lives of millions of people. If you think that's being stingy, just wait until you hear about the next billionaire who's made a fortune but still refuses to upgrade his house. David Tepper, the billionaire who refused to upgrade. Tepper may own the Carolina Panthers and Charlotte FC, but you won't find him living like most sports team owners. Despite being worth $20 billion, Tepper still lives in the same two-story house in New Jersey that he bought decades ago. Tepper's approach to life is practical and straightforward. He raised his children in public schools, even though he could afford most exclusive private institutions. He doesn't own multiple vacation homes or fly private jets like many other billionaires. For Tepper, living modestly isn't just a financial decision. It's a lifestyle choice rooted in his belief that wealth should not define a person's character. Tepper's story is one of resilience and determination. He didn't come from wealth, and his early career was marked by challenges, including failed investments that taught him the value of frugality. Today, despite his vast fortune, he remains committed to living within his means and using his wealth to help others. And as unusual as his lifestyle is, you'll be surprised to know about the billionaire who quite literally cuts his own hair. David Sheraton. A Stanford professor turned tech billionaire is one of the most unconventional wealthy individuals out there. Despite his immense fortune, which he amassed from early investments in companies like Google, Sheraton leads a life that's shockingly ordinary. While many billionaires are known for living large, Sheraton is more concerned with living practically. You see, Sheraton's wealth didn't come from a flashy tech startup of his own, but from smart investments. He was an early backer of Google, writing a check for $100,000 back when the company was just getting started. That single investment has earned him billions, but it hasn't changed his humble ways. For Sheraton, luxury is something to avoid, not embrace. He's so down to earth that he's still teaching at Stanford University, where he's been a computer science professor for decades. He could have easily retired and lived a life of leisure, but teaching is his passion, and he finds fulfillment in it. His students know him not as a billionaire investor, but as a professor who's committed to sharing his knowledge, driving an old car, and never showing off. Sheraton is also known for his disdain for extravagant real estate. While other billionaires scoop up mansions and vacation homes, he's content with the home he bought in 1981. It's not that he can't afford something fancier, he just doesn't see the point. In fact, Sheraton has openly criticized billionaires who build massive homes with more bathrooms than they could ever use. To him, that kind of excess is wasteful and completely unnecessary. And if you think Sheraton is all about hoarding his wealth, think again. He's made significant contributions to educational institutions and research. But true to his modest style, he avoids any fanfare around his philanthropy. His donations often come quietly, without the need for public recognition. Sheraton's philosophy is clear. Money doesn't change the essence of who you are. He believes in focusing on what really matters: family, education, and making the world a better place, rather than spending his billions on things he doesn't need. If you think these billionaires live modestly, wait until you see how the world's richest kids spend daddy's money. Check out our next video to find out just how lavish life can get.